Roll for Crit presents how to play Zen Garden in 5 minutes or less or more. Zen Garden is the tile-laying game about building a beautiful garden for a demanding emperor. Designed by Mike Yoryu and published by Queen Games. Your goal in Zen Garden is to gain the most victory points by building your garden according to the Emperor's specifications. Each player begins with their own garden board, a coin marker at the 12 space of their coin track, and a score marker for later on. Laid out on the selection board will be 3 rows of 4 garden tiles. Each garden tile features one of 6 floor types, such as water or trees, a walkway made of sand, wood, or stone, and one of 5 decor types in the corner, like a crane or a pagoda. These elements will come into play during the game and during scoring when the game has ended. On your turn, you must purchase 1 garden tile from the selection board, then place it somewhere on your personal garden board. The cost of a tile is determined by which row it's in. 2 coins for a tile from the top row and 1 for a middle row tile, while the tiles in the bottom row are free. If spending 1 or 2 coins on your turn, you'll need to move your coin marker back the appropriate number of spaces to indicate this. You can never have more than 25 coins. After paying, place your new tile. For your very first turn of the game, you can place that tile onto any one space on your board. After that, new tiles will need to be placed so that they are directly adjacent to at least one other previously placed tile. When placing a tile, it can also be rotated in any direction you'd like, but once it's down, it will stay in that orientation for the rest of the game. However, that doesn't mean the position of your tiles is permanently fixed. Before placing a new garden tile on your turn, you have the option to shift your existing tiles. To shift your tiles means to move them together as if they were one entity in any direction without rotating them. For example, you could shift this set of tiles here, here, or even here. Shift them as much as you like as long as you have room for it. Once you have 4 tiles across one row and one column, you won't be able to shift anymore. If you manage to place 4 tiles showing the same decor type in a row, column, or diagonally, you'll receive 3 coins as an immediate bonus. Otherwise, the primary reasoning for how you place your tiles will be to satisfy the Emperor's preferences, which we'll cover shortly. After buying and placing a tile, your turn ends, and the next player in clockwise order does the same. After all players have completed a turn, the round ends, and the first player passes the first player marker to the player to their left. They'll take the first turn of the next round. Now is when any empty spaces on the selection board are refilled. First, discard any remaining bottom row tiles, slide the top 2 rows down a space, then refill the empty spots from the supply, going from bottom to top, right to left. After 16 rounds, all players' garden boards will be completely filled up with tiles and the game ends. Once it's finished, flip the selection board over to show the scoring board. Each player will place their scoring markers on a board position equal to the number of coins they had when the game ended. Then you'll check your garden against the preferences of the Emperor, as indicated on his preference boards. There are 5 preference boards in total. The first preference board must always be included, but the rest are optional. Feel free to include any combination of these boards, or play with all 5 for a more complete experience. Here's what each preference means and what they award points for. For the number of complete walkways, made up of 4 connected walkway tiles of the same type. For sets of 6 or more identical decor types. For tiles matching the Emperor's randomly selected minor and major preferences. For having more tiles than any other player matching the randomly selected majority tile. For having a number of tiles matching the chosen attention to detail tile. Note that you can lose points if you don't have enough of these. You earn 10 points if each floor type in your garden is sectioned off into its own area. Differing amounts of points will be rewarded if you keep things minimal and only use 2, 3, or 4 floor types. And finally, you get to take a points token from the top of a stack for completing a mission. Missions will indicate 2 types of randomly chosen tiles, and you must have 4 of each type to complete it. It's up to you which scoring parameters you prioritize and how you go about it. The player with the most points at the end of the game wins and becomes the new Zen Garden architect. In conclusion, buy tiles, shift tiles, place tiles, make the Emperor happy. That's Zen Garden in a nutshell. Did you get all that?